How's everybody doing this evening? My name is Michael Anders. I'm a certified strength and conditioning specialist and personal trainer. I'm involved in pursuing a master's in exercise and wellness at Arizona State. Just a little bit about my background outside of my certifications. I was a collegiate athlete, and as soon as I got done playing ball, I discovered that I'd blown out an ACL, had to have that repaired, and through rehab, realized that having a physically active lifestyle goes a long way in the prevention of bone and joint issues that people who live sedentary lifestyles run into later on. I've had doctors tell me that I can look forward to having my left knee replaced completely by the time I'm 45, and that's if I decide to go ahead and live a life watching ESPN on the couch all day long. So being physically active, only prolongs that process. Is it guaranteed I'll never have to have it replaced? No. But at the same time, instead of waiting on 45 to get here, I can look forward to, pushing that as far back in my life as possible. Adopting everybody wants to know, what the secret is to, physical fitness and all that kind of good stuff. And we were talking earlier that, the most important thing, I don't care if it's getting a membership to the gym, getting up every morning and taking a walk around the block, or, watching a 30-minute workout video in your living room. The key to getting physically fit, all right, write this down if you're taking notes, blow your mind, is to get started. All right? Take that first step. All right? A lot of things happen when you make a conscious decision to take control of your life. All right? There's pretty much have made the decision to go ahead and slow the aging process. All right? After 30 years old, it's a stat out there that we lose 1.5% of our muscle mass, all right, per year after 30 years old. But the truth behind that stat is if you don't do anything about it, you won't slow the process. All right? I know the premise of you guys being here this evening is anti-aging. Well, you are in complete control of how fast you age. And that's completely based on a conscious decision that you make every morning. When I have new clients get started on a brand new program, and it's been 2 weeks and they've experienced 10 pounds of weight loss, and then all of a sudden they plateau. They're like, well, I just don't feel like the program is working anymore. Well, anytime you shock the body and introduce a new regimen and get it started in a completely different direction than the way it was going, you're going to experience rapid results. But then, like anything else, your body's going to adjust to that regimen and things are going to slow down. But you need to pay attention to the incremental process, the incremental progress that occurs as you continue the process. And the biggest, you see yourself every day. So the best example I can give you is, you stayed the course, it's been 3 months and you're starting to get frustrated, and then all of a sudden you wake up in the morning and you put your pants on and you have a little bit more room than you used to. You have that aha moment. It's like, oh my goodness, this is really working. Well, since you've taken the first step, the next secret to slowing your aging process and becoming more physically active, the number 2 secret on that list is to stay the course and stay with the program long enough that you can have those aha moments. Because you don't just have the one where it's like, oh my goodness, I might want to go get these pants taken in now. You stay the course and you continually progress your your stamina goes up. You know, you cover, you know, if you're taking that walk around the block, all of a sudden it's taking you 8 minutes instead of 10 minutes. And, you know, you decide, you know what, I'm going to take another lap around the block. So on and so forth. Pay attention to that stuff. A lot of that stuff, you know, just kind of, as it happens, just goes unnoticed. But you are making progress. You may not be able to see it every day, but somewhere in the back of your mind, your body knows that things are getting better. And because it occurs on such a deep subconscious level, you have that aha moment because now it's become conscious and brought to the forefront. All right. So there are things that I want to cover this evening. All right. But you know, I'm a huge fan of open forum. That's why I didn't bring a computer and have a PowerPoint so I can read to you off the wall. All right. Just quick, you know, 3 things that you guys want to know about anti-aging and how being physically fit can help off the top of your head.
How do you get started?
How do you get started? Okay, that's 1. I needed 2.
How much time every day?
Okay, good question. And number 3.
Diet.
Anything.
Your diet.
Okay, actually, your name again?
Andrea.
Andrea is going to be covering any and all things nutrition.
Oh, okay, so that's right, sorry.
All right, no problem, but we got that
It's
covered.
very important too.
Absolutely. I would even venture to say that, you know, that is 80% of it. You know, you can only go so hard for so long physically. You know, when you hire a personal trainer, I can only work with you for an hour, 2 hours at the most in any given day. But what you put in your mouth all day long is completely within your control all day, every day. That make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so getting started, all right? Everybody has to start somewhere. It doesn't matter what your baseline is, you need to establish that baseline, all right? If, you know, you're just coming off a knee replacement, or, you know, your goal, your New Year's resolution is to lose 30 pounds this year, or whatever. Well, those pounds don't come off by themselves. You have to start somewhere. And throughout the process, you need to become comfortable with being uncomfortable to a certain extent. Because while everybody has their baseline, everybody has their threshold as well. And when you're participating in any kind of physical activity, it should be a goal of yours to ride that as close to the threshold as you can mentally stand. Because what you'll find throughout the process is your mind quits before your body is really ready to. And once you establish that, the big fancy word, the neuromuscular connection, and you let your mind go and let your body do exactly what it's supposed to do, just like that walk around the block, you get that done in a much shorter time, your mind stays in the game so much longer as you continue the process. All right? But
I'm 30 years old. If I were to do something versus not do something, as far as working out, as far as saying when I'm 60,
okay.
what's the difference between doing something versus not doing something? As far as physical activity, I mean, what do you think? What's the toll on the body?
Well, physical, like I said earlier, you know, every year you lose about 1.5% of your muscle mass. All right, physical activity is going to keep your muscle mass, your lean mass up, and that promotes a lot of good things. All right, it slows down the onset of osteoporosis. All right, which is the loss of bone density. All right, you see a lot of people once they hit middle age and get on up into their late 50s, early 60s, out of nowhere they go over to pick up a bag of groceries and throw out a hip. Or, you know, like my grandmother, for example, getting in and out of her boat, you know, blows out her knee. All right, delays the onset of osteoporosis and promotes bone density. All right, and as you keep up with that lean mass, your ligaments and tendons are forced to keep up with that as well. All right, so injury prevention is a huge one. Okay, The metabolism, all right? I can't tell you how many middle-aged women come to see me, and I'm like, so let's establish some goals. What are we looking to accomplish? And one of the first things I see, and it makes me laugh all the time, you know, is they put their arm out like this, and I'm like, I want to get rid of the money. I'm tired of my triceps waving at people as I'm like, okay. You gotta tighten all that up. And when you boost your metabolism, all right, as that lean mass is increased, your metabolism is boosted, and you burn fat so much more efficiently. All right? So that's number 2. And number 3, just mobility and quality of life. When you live a physically active lifestyle, you're just able to participate in so much more and enjoy things, you know, as we get older and, you know, cousins and nephews and grandkids and stuff are introduced to the family. You know, everybody wants to participate, be an active participant in their lives, you know, but nobody wants to be limited in the activities that they can participate in. And the easiest way to promote, you know, how much you can participate in, you know, these young individuals' lives is to go ahead and be the example and live that active lifestyle. Make sense? So, you know, and the other thing is, as you stay the course, and you have these aha moments from time to time, a magnificent thing happens, and you have this amazing boost in confidence, and you just walk around with a glow that no skincare product on the market can give you. You know, and people sense that energy, that aura that you have. You know, because there's a certain confidence that comes with knowing that you are in control of your life. Go ahead.
Can you talk some more about metabolism?
Absolutely.
What boosts your metabolism?
Okay. So, you know, we're going to talk about nutrition and everything. That plays a huge factor. But as far as physical activity is concerned, as you promote the building of lean mass, all right? And I understand I'm sitting here in a room full of women, all right? You do not naturally produce enough testosterone to end up looking like a man, all right? I'd like to just go ahead and get that misconception out there right now, all right? Because that's the other thing. After we establish that you want to get rid of mommy arms, the next thing on the table is, well, I don't want to look like a guy. I get it. But it's not within your genetic makeup. Okay? So it's vital that along with a cardiovascular routine, that you do participate in some kind of resistance training. Alright? Because as that lean mass goes up, so does your metabolism, and you don't have to participate in as much physical activity as often to keep it up. And when you put that together with nutrition, which we talked about here in a minute, I mean, the two are a match made in heaven. All right? Does that answer your question?
Yeah. No.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm curious, a couple of questions actually. You mentioned the mind will stop a lot sooner than the body will.
Absolutely.
So in your experience, what have you seen to work well to, build a stronger mind perhaps?
Okay. One thing I didn't mention, I just came off active duty as a Marine, and I'm now with a reserve unit. So one thing I've noticed in my own training as well as the physical fitness training that we do with our Marines is going back to what I said earlier, walking as close to the threshold as possible. All right? Because everybody has one. Lance Armstrong can only push so hard for so long. All right? But he rides that line. That's why he's able to perform at such an amazing level. Because every day he goes out there and he rides as close to his threshold as possible. And that's nothing more than either having a trainer like myself realize that you're there and we push for another couple of reps, or, you know, as you're doing your own thing, you say, you know what, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to go another 30 seconds. I have 2 more reps in me. You know, you have to, once again, make that conscious decision and realize that, again, you are in control of your results. You know, I can put the program together for you, but I can't lift the weight for you. My metabolism isn't going to burn those calories. You know what I mean? That's, as awesome as that would be, you know, I think I'd be really tired. But, you know, these are all things that, you know, at the end of the day, all the physical aside, you know, there's a mental switch that you have to flip. And once you flip that switch, there's another aha moment for you. You have now crossed the threshold. And the next time you do that, you know, maybe you set out to do 100 push-ups in the span of the day. Once all of a sudden, you know, you realize, well, I got to 100. What now? Let's shoot for 120 tomorrow. You have now increased your threshold. And that's the thing. Progression, as far as physical activity is concerned, it can only get better. That's the other thing that you have to look forward to. It only gets better. You look better. You feel better. You go longer. You can lift heavier if that's what you want to do. But your confidence gets better. Your lifestyle gets better. Your stress level goes down. You're able to put more on your plate and handle so much more when your body is able to perform at an optimal level. All that makes sense?
Yeah, Michael, you gave a good point about stress. God, I get a lot of stress in my life. But to me, I think when I go out and if I get a little stress at work or life, I just go out to the desert and go for a bike ride, go jogging.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know about everybody else, but something like that to me. What does it do that makes me feel like I'm not stressed all the time?
So your body, when you put it through any kind of physical stress, produces what are called endorphins. So if you've ever had that one workout that just puts you over the top and you're dead tired, but you feel amazing, that feeling of euphoria is your body spitting out those endorphins. And it's the runner's high, if you will, where you just feel like you can just go forever, right? And for a lot of people, it only happens every so often, once in a blue moon. But what if you can condition yourself so that you get the runner's high all the time? You know what I'm saying? To me, that's what makes it all worth it. You know, once I got to playing college ball, I fell in love with the off-season program because after every workout, that's how I felt. I felt like I could conquer the world, even though I am completely physically maxed out. But to me, that feeling of confidence that, you know, I have established my foothold in the world and nobody can take that from me, that experience is what makes every workout worth it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And as far as stress specifically is concerned, you know, everything we do in life produces some kind of stress on the body. You know, here's some psychological terms for you. You have eustress and distress. Eustress is positive stress. Distress is negative stress. All right? And when you participate in any kind of physical activity, you're giving your body eustress. So a lot of positive things happen as a result of eustress. All right? Those endorphins, your metabolism goes up, all that kind of good stuff. When you have a lot of negative energy in your life, you have a lot of distress coming in and attacking your body, your mind, a lot of negative things happen in the body. You experience a period of catabolism where your body kind of eats away at muscle mass. And, you know, like I said, the more muscle mass you have, the more efficient your metabolism is. Well, if your body is utilizing muscle for energy, that kind of is counterproductive in terms of metabolism. You see what I'm saying? So when you know, become more physically active and give your body more eustress, all those positive things will override that distress. That makes sense?
I could always get that runner's high and the endorphins going when I was running, but I can't run anymore because I ruined my feet. But I don't get that with any other workout.
Okay.
Riding a bike
Have you, let's see. So the way, so the way you feel after you get done running, do you push yourself in the same manner with any other physical activity? Do you spend as much time close to the threshold as you do when you run? See?
maybe it's, I don't know, just
If you took yourself a little bit closer to your threshold, you might get there. And if cardio is your thing, have you ever spun before? You taken a spin class?
I haven't done that.
Aha!
Super fun.
Here's the other thing. Expose yourself to new things, all right? Because as great a shape as I may appear to be in, all right, if I took a Zumba class right now, it would probably destroy you. Okay? Expose yourself to new things because, once again, you are now challenging the body. Okay? And exposing it to something new where the body physiologically realizes that it must make changes so that the next time you do it, it's not as hard. And that is number 3 on the list. The third C. And back to who asked about how much time? Who is that? Okay. So time, all right? Once again, threshold, okay? How long can you ride as close to that threshold? Once again, that'll always increase, but at the same time, you have to make time to be in your schedule to be physically active. And as far as promoting that lifestyle, contrary to popular belief, that's the one time it's okay to be selfish. All right, because if you don't have the ability to get down on one knee and scoop up that grandkid as he gets off the plane, for Thanksgiving dinner, well, what's the point? Take the time for you. Remove all the stress that you have to look forward to or that you've been dealing with. All right, and there's nothing for you to focus on except being in the moment and getting the most out of that 15 minutes, that hour, whatever, those 53 miles that you rode on Sunday. That's all you have to focus on. Take a yoga class. The huge part of yoga is mind, body, and soul, and establishing that synergy. All right, that synergy, and making another conscious decision that this is what I'm going to focus on right here, right now. Nothing else exists. And for that 15 minutes, that half hour, that hour, however long you're participating in the activity, that's your time. And that's all it is. You're not hurting anybody. You're not taking time from anybody else. That's your half hour to an hour to be completely selfish. And it's okay. You meet so many people in the medical profession who spend so much time taking care of other people that they forget about themselves. Nurses are one of the most unhealthy populations vocationally that exists because they spend so much time on that hospital floor caring for other people that they forget to be selfish for a little bit and take care of themselves. All right? And that's number 4. Does anybody have anything else?
I'm curious how might training regimen differ men versus women and for ages. If you're in your 20s versus your 30s, and so on and so forth.
Right. Well, obviously, as we age, it's just a natural event that takes place where, at 28, I can't do what I was doing at 18. You know, you can't fight that. However, you can make a conscious effort to stay as close to 18 as possible. You know, and that's a mental thing. You know, no two people in this room, if we all stood here and did P90X, would get the same results at the same rate and have the same, and start with the same goal. You know, so that's part of what we do at Next Level is individualize everything based on your capabilities and limitations, your likes, your dislikes, all that kind of good stuff. Because if you enjoy it, if you find something that you enjoy that allows you to ride that threshold as close to it as possible for as long as possible, you'll stick with it. And you'll always, 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 I can't guarantee you when it'll happen, but you will forever and always, constantly have those aha moments. You'll wake up in the morning and be like, oh my goodness, that wasn't there the other day. My pants fit nice. You know, you'll be out with your girlfriends and, you know, some young gentleman is going to come over, you know, trying to get you number. That wasn't happening before, you know. Hey, you know, and if you got a wedding ring, I mean, hey, you obviously didn't bypass that, you know. That's a good feeling, you know. It shows that you're doing something right. And people can sense that energy. You know, that's what brings people together, is energy. And when you promote a physically active lifestyle within yourself, you attract like-minded people. And that's another awesome thing, is to find people that you can ride that threshold with. Not just in physical activity, but in life. And all of a sudden, you ain't doing nothing but promoting eustress and getting rid of distress. Make sense? Yeah.
So what do you think of the P90 workout? And yes.
I think anything to get you going is awesome. Anything that will help you establish a lifestyle is worth doing. You know, whether, you know, I come to your house and train you, whether you just watch a video, whether you go take a spin class, all right? Anything that gets you to take that first step to get started, and you expose yourself to something new, and your body's forced to make those adjustments, 100% worth it. Absolutely. So.
I was just, actually, I just had talked to my niece, and she needs to lose weight, and she's made this commitment she's going to.
Okay.
She's gone for 1 week now, you know. But she's been in there for over an hour a day, and she's just bouncing all around, you know, with nowhere. And don't you find, though, sometimes I think people put too much pressure on themselves when they're starting.
Yes.
They think they have to do. And I said, if you're doing something more than what you were doing before, that's something. I said, if it's 15 minutes of just walking,
Absolutely.
to get you to the point.
That's right.
People,
Yeah. I think it's been my experience, and I've been doing this for over 10 years now. The expectation that people have of themselves, you know, the whole magazine model, I'm gonna try Kim Kardashian's new workout plan thing, you know, and it's gonna happen tomorrow, is, you know, just way too much pressure. While you're trying to promote eustress, you're doing nothing but promoting distress with that expectation. You know, you didn't get to looking that way and feeling that way overnight. So you need to go ahead and consciously acknowledge that you're not going to become, you know, that runway supermodel tomorrow either. You know, is it possible? If you stay the course and you do all the right things and you make it a legitimate goal and, you know, you facilitate that success, absolutely. But at the same time, you need to be realistic about the goals you set and the milestones that you achieve along the way. It's completely rational to think that you can lose 1 to 2 pounds a week. That's healthy weight loss. When you see these people who get the gastric bypass and stuff like that, and they lose upwards of 100 pounds over the course of like 6 months, right? Your body does not have time to adjust to that rapid weight loss. If you're going to spend $5,000 on an operation that's going to make you more unhealthy than you were when you started, you might as well save that money and invest in personal training. That's what they're doing. They can get you there the right way. course of the year, you'll spend less than $5,000 in training. So, think about that. Appreciate your time. Hope you learned something this evening. And if you have any further questions, my information is on that card, and I'll be sticking around for anything later on. All right? Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Michael.